Welcome, everyone. We're just going to get started in a minute. Ryan, I'm just going to give people a couple of minutes to get into the room. Okay, hi, everyone. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us on this Wednesday afternoon. My name is Dinah Mack. I'm the Education Program Manager with Massachusetts Farm to School, and we really appreciate you all attending. And we will be sending a recording out of this as well and sharing all the information that our speaker today is sharing. And so I want to introduce Rayanne Gentry. Rayanne Gentry is a special educator worksite aide at Greater Lowell Technical High School in Tingsboro, Massachusetts. And Rayanne's going to be talking about an incredible program that I learned of when I met Rayanne at our Massachusetts Farm to School Institute. It is a tops gardening and greenhouse program, and it was so inspiring that I asked Rayanne if she would come and share in a webinar. So I'm really looking forward to this as well, Rayanne. And during this presentation, if anyone has any questions, the chat is open, so please feel free to use the chat, and Rayanne will answer any questions you have. All right, thank you so much. Oh, and I do want to say that I met Rayanne at the Massachusetts Farm to School Institute, and I do want to say that we have just opened our application for the Mass Farm to School Institute 2025 to 2026 school year. And so if you're interested in that, I'll have I'll put my email in the chat and you can email me. All right. Okay, Rayanne.
All right, here we go. All right, I wanted to first, Dinah, thank you for inviting me to do this. And anybody that a little uh, a little shout out for the Institute. That was an amazing 3 days that we had with Dinah and her crew. And it really taught us a lot and just got me more excited about our program. So I might jump around a little bit in my slides. I get overly excited when I talk about this program and how it came about and everything. But as you can see on our first slide, these are all last school year. This is the greenhouse at our school, totally loaded with plants from seed. Our students learned from seed or grew all of these from seed. A little bit about Greater Lowell Technical High School and the transition training program that I'm in. We're located in Tingsboro, Mass. There's over 20 different technical shops there. I am a worksite aide, as Dinah said. Usually we bring our students out of the building to different work sites and they learn job skills. And I get these kids from after their 4 years of schooling. And then if they choose to stay, we teach them job skills, a little bit more life skills, how to be responsible and job ready. So how did the greenhouse and gardens for the TOPS kids come to be? Remember COVID-19, anyone? That was a very difficult year. So because my students are intensive need students, when everyone was gathering their work to, to start working from home, we were told, well, we need to work in school. We were voluntold. Our students had to go to school, so we decided we are also going to go in with them, which was very difficult. But pretty much the greenhouse garden came about from taking mask breaks. We would often, these teens were sitting in seats 6 feet apart from each other with plexiglass around them, masks on. So we decided to start taking mask breaks. We could go outside, we could take our masks off. And at that point, no one was using the greenhouse. So we kind of thought, hey, that would be kind of neat. And our science department was on board. Our plant services manager said, yeah, great idea, use the greenhouse. So that's how it all came to be. A lot of our students are more city students that may not have ever picked up a rake before because they don't have yards. They've never planted things. They just didn't have any reason to start. So from doing this, we would teach the kids pretty much what a seed is and how a seed goes to a plant. And what was interesting as the year went on is just watching them watching them watch these seeds grow into plants, grow into vegetables. And it was really one of those things that it was visible to see that they were very excited about learning, or, they were the ones to say, hey, we got to get out to the greenhouse and start watering our plants. I do have some different notes written here. So we do start the school year with the basics, and that is the whole seeds. There are several moving parts with this program because our students might start with us this year and continue for a few years, and then other students will start. So we kind of overlap the learning a little bit. And if you feel like I'm bouncing around a little bit and you need me to slow down, please just let me know that. So where we are a technical school, and this whole garden greenhouse came to be, we have a wonderful plant services manager who says, hey, where do you want your garden? What do you want it to be? I first pictured a little garden, little, easy walkway through. And as you can see on the picture on this slide, we have carpentry, which came in and built our boxes. We had masonry, do a beautiful walkway through. And then after this, I don't have a picture of it, but after this, there was a beautiful gate and fencing put around it. So this is where it's at the very entrance to the school. One side, if you see the glass hallway to the right of the picture, that is our culinary arts hallway. And then across the way a little bit is our cafeteria location. So it was put there to be able to have both culinary arts shop and our cafeteria use the plants and the herbs that we started in this. These are very useful. I put them here because as we were going through the school year, we'd go to these different websites to get the information we needed. A lot of these students had never researched things before, so we needed to talk to them about companion planting and what that meant. And we needed to talk to them about planting things in shade versus planting them in the sun. We also needed to talk to them about, certain things that really won't grow in this area just based on our climate. The useful tools are the Mass Farm to School website. We got a lot of our lesson plans from there. I don't know if I can click onto that or not.
Probably not,
I was going to
but
say,
I'll put these links. I can put these links in the chat.
okay, I was going to say, so we went through a lot of that for the for different lesson plans that were amazing. We don't have our children all day long, our students all day long, so we would use a lessons plan that might go the entire school week.
Hey, Rayanne, someone in the chat wants to know, where is your cheat sheet from? The vegetable growing cheat sheet.
That one is, I'd have to look back at my notes because I can't read it right there, but I can provide that to everybody. This is actually one that one of my students found, and I can get that. I'll find out where the cheat sheet came from. We have Mill City Grows in our area. They do a lot of community gardens. So there's resources there. Of course, Teacher Pay Teacher. There's a lot of free resources about gardening that start very basic. The Right Lock Farm, which is where the institute, the Mass to School Institute was at when I took it. The kids and I have gone back there and we've walked the property and we've looked at their gardens. We've gone to their shop that has all the vegetables that were harvested and grown there. And then also grownativeMass.org, which again, we want to make sure that we are planting things that are native to our area and are helpful in our area for the insects that we have. So as we're kind of going from year to year, we don't necessarily have people that are there in the summertime to help take care of our garden, as far as like the program that we have during the school year. But whatever grows, the school knows, please take. We have a lot of people that work during the summertime, obviously, and so we let them take whatever they want. And with this one, when we harvest, and this is when we harvest at the end of the school year also, from some of these pictures, we take, there's sunflower seeds in there that we've taken from really big sunflowers and regrow them. So the kids learn, oh, wait a minute, we already planted the sunflower. Now we take the seeds for free and we plant them again and we get more plants. So it's really showing them how we can, not have to spend a lot of money on things. The nasturtium, which are the orange flowers there, they're edible and beautiful. Those we have given to our culinary arts shop and also to the cafeteria. And the cafeteria workers there are amazing at our school. They did some of the salads and put the nasturtium in, and it was a big buzz because it's like, oh, look at how pretty these look. The green tomatoes, because this was an experiment, we put them in an area that was more shaded than sunny, and they didn't ripen as well. So we did something with those also. So again, all part of the researching for these kids. And when I say intensive needs kids, some of them have a hard time reading, some have a hard time writing. So we do take a lot of the time to explain what a lot of these different things mean. The sowing them indoors, which we are so lucky to have a greenhouse because in fact, this Friday, we're going to start our seeds. We've already planned the garden that we're going to grow. We've researched what we're doing. We do have 3 different areas in our school. The picture that I showed you was a more vegetable herb garden. The other side of the main entrance is going to be a native pollinator garden, mostly perennials, so that year after year things will come up. And then there's a back garden that we have been given to use, which we are going to make a Three Sisters garden this year. And that whole thing goes back to, teaching the kids what a Three Sisters garden is. The Native Americans would use it. It's a form of 3 things, 3 different plants working together. So we get into a whole story of that also. Um, so, and losing my train of thought. Okay, so that's where the Three Sisters Garden. So there's a lot of areas that we have to take care of, and a lot of work goes into figuring out what the plant is, when to grow them, how long it's going to take for them to actually grow, and again where we're going to plant them. So these are the different things that we have found, backs of the seed packets they've read to figure out where we need to do things, the hardiness zone, so they know where our zone is and when is a good time for us to start planting outdoors. And then because we I guess have grown into really wanting to have a pollinator garden also, which tells you which things what we have to grow in order to um, have the pollinators come to the flowers. So the budgeting and pricing, because this program was new to us, we didn't really want to spend a lot of money. I've never had to spend a lot of money since I've been there, where I'm a worksite aide. We usually leave the school and go to different work sites. So this was kind of hard for me to spend money, although we had it. We have an account that we've been using. One of our students unfortunately passed away about 17 years ago, and the mom wanted us to start a scholarship fund. So from that, we do give scholarships for the kids, 2 seniors in our program, and then the rest of the money we can use for different things. So this is how the budgeting started coming about 2 years ago. The students would have to figure out how much money we have, how much money the items are going to cost, if we need tools, if we are, buying seeds, which are a lot less expensive as opposed to buying plants, which are more expensive. So we would just sit for a long period of time and figure out about money and talking about profit, because we want to make sure that we make a little bit of money, which goes back into that account so that we can use for the scholarship year to year, so that we can also use to buy more supplies. Luckily, we do have a wonderful grant writer at our school, and we have been able to get grants a couple times in order for us to be able to buy the supplies we need, educate the kids a little bit more, whether it's offsite programs, and then just really grow a lot in our greenhouse and make sure the gardens look really nice. Learning how to use our produce. So this is always exciting for the kids. And now that a lot of these kids have been here for the last couple of years, they're like, we're going to eat these things, right? We're going to eat what we grew. And the new kids coming in are like, what, we get to eat the food? So what we've done, some of these are just some of the pictures that we've done. The green tomatoes that I showed you earlier, we made fried green tomatoes, which the kids found how to do that. And that was actually very delicious. They were nice and chewy because they don't taste all that ripe, but with the coating and everything, they tasted delicious. We had basil, a lot of basil, smells really good. So we made basil butter. We have, not in this picture, but we actually picked a lot of tomatoes. We had an overwhelming amount of tomatoes in our back garden, which was full sun. So we brought the tomatoes to one of the culinary arts teachers. And what they did was they made salsa, and they gave some of the salsa back to us just to give little, using collaboration between departments to show that, we've picked the produce, you're going to make something into it. And then they also sold the salsa to the school community. We did some of the pickling of the vegetables. Here you show we attempted to make mint tea. And then these are again the sunflower seeds that we had picked from other really large sunflowers that we ended up harvesting, that we ended up planting again for a new season. We also found this wonderful book called Seed Folks. I don't know if anybody has read that before, but it really it's an easy book to read, short chapters, and it just talks about the different cultures and why people eat different foods. It's kind of like a book about working together and collaborating, and the kids really enjoyed it. There's on YouTube, there are other teachers or other people that have recorded each chapter. So we found that to be the easiest way to get through this, because some of our students cannot read. Those that could not read just followed along. Just listened, and the ones that could read would just follow along. Because of this, and we would talk after every chapter, we decided to take a poll or ask some questions of our school community, because some people had not heard of some of the vegetables from the book. And in the book, it also tells you where these people are located, what their ethnic background is. So what we did is we put out questions to the school community, and teachers could actually share this with their students if they wanted to. So the students and I came up with this. Basically, what are some of the traditional vegetables or fruits you commonly use in your cultural or ethnic foods? And this was difficult to do the questions, because the kids had to learn what cultural meant, had to learn what ethnicity or ethnic meant. And then it kind of made them think too about, oh, well, I eat this at home. Maybe it is because of my heritage or my background. And that allowed family conversations at home. So it was kind of community, family, togetherness, or a lot of talking going on. So from this, we got probably about 60 or so replies back, which is pretty good. And I have some of my paperwork here. So from that, some of the answers were, we use them in many Asian dishes. We eat this at family reunions. These vegetables or fruits play a part in my cultural or family traditions by being part of a signature dish commonly made when people are together. So there was a lot of answers that the kids got about why certain foods are planted. This also helped us figure out maybe what we're going to try to plant in the future, what our community might want to have in our gardens. Excuse me. So just to give you an idea, some of the main things that were mentioned were bok choy, which we did try doing. We're going to try that again this year. It didn't grow as well as we thought it was going to. The red beans, we didn't get a chance to do. Our peppers did really well, and eggplant, which I was kind of surprised that eggplant was one of the main things that we saw. But there was a lot altogether. So this year we are going to do these four. We're going to attempt to do these four different vegetables. So once we figure out what we're going to have, we plant the seeds and we start caring for them indoors, which again is a lot of research because we can't plant them right away. We talk to kids about making goals. Similar to making goals, we have to figure out what is needed in order to plant the seeds and have a goal for them to be ready to either plant outdoors or to sell, because it's not just something you can say you want to do and have it like happen just like that. So there's a lot of just the boring part of putting a seed in a little in a little pot, putting a seed and putting a seed. But as they start growing, I mean, the smiles on these kids' faces. I didn't put a lot of pictures in here, but we have kids that have never dug in dirt before, and they're on the ground, sitting on the ground, digging with their hands, or their hands are filthy, and the smiles on their faces are amazing. So this is obviously at the beginning, the ones that we just started the seeds. In the middle with the two smiling students, that's after they've been growing for a little bit. And then we're starting to see some of them. We had radishes that did really well. And then some of the lettuce. Okay, so preparing the gardens and outdoor planting. Once the nice weather, which I hope it's coming soon, we will go out to the gardens and we will pick any of the remaining dead plants that are in there. The perennial garden, we'll make sure that if there's any dead things in there, we'll rake it out, make sure it's nice and neat. But along with the fun part of planting, the students have realized that part of the whole planting process is also to weed a garden, get rid of the old things, letting them know that certain things will choke out our plants. So it really teaches them about nurturing, which I love. Some of the students that really had no desire to start doing this, and we call it forced family fun, but they weren't quite sure about the whole thing till the end of watching these vegetables come off of the vine and so forth. It really made them excited to learn about it. Change of plans. So always there's change in things that you might have. You might want a certain way. It ends up not being that way. We one of the gardens that was in the back of our school that had full sun, by the time we were ready to go out there, we noticed some kind of plant growing. The kids are like, they had never noticed it before. They had never seen it. And because of Google Lens, they were able to figure out that it was milkweed. And figuring out that it was milkweed, then they needed to research it. After researching it, they realized that this is great for monarch butterflies. And unfortunately, our monarch butterflies are becoming extinct. So we kind of switched it around a little bit, and we decided we were going to not do this garden with it. We weren't going to take out the milkweed in order to plant something else. So what was nice about this is they learned that you kind of had to change a little bit. That was not our plan. But then we realized that really you could help a species of an insect if we just leave the milkweed there. So that was another couple week long learning for them. At the end, usually in May, we do a plant sale. And the plant sale is everything that we have had growing in the garden, growing in the greenhouse that was not going into our gardens. We brought through into the school from our greenhouse, and we set up a sale. We did it, I think it was 2 different weeks, all during all of the lunch periods. So it had a lot of traffic that went by the certain hallway. And I'm all about reduce, reuse, recycle. And now the students are. So we had mugs that were donated to us. That was a sale for Mother's Day. It says, "You're my cup of tea." The kids from the plants put them in the teacups, and the tag that we have on the teacups, the students made from, we were lucky enough to have a Cricut machine donated to us. So the kids came up with how they wanted to make the tags. So that was another collaboration of the students' ideas. The picture with the sunflower seeds, those are from seeds that we got from the sunflowers from last year. And then the salad planter you see there, that is recycled wood that was made into planters for us. And then the kids again made that tag that says salad planter on there. And what we put in there, the kids planted nasturtium, they planted lettuce, and then it was usually an herb that was in those, and those were sold. And to give you an idea of some of the prices, so when we sold these, we had, hold on one second. The teacups themselves were donated to us. So in the teacups, there was chamomile, lemon balm, basil, or forget me not. We sold those for $10 a piece. So made a profit of $10 minus the seeds. The salad planters, we also had tea planters. And in the tea planters, there were different kinds of herbs like lemon balm, lavender, basil, chamomile, and some of the nasturtium. Those we sold for $15. The salad planters we sold for $15. And then each of the plants that we started from seed, we sold for $5 each. We had San Marzano tomatoes, we had lettuce plants, basil, lemon balm, peppers, onions, radish, sunflowers, and we also had some hanging plants that we did shade wildflowers and sun wildflowers. So our sale took in about $1,500 this last year. And our goal wasn't really to make a lot of money. It was more to show the school community what these students are doing, because it's not, right in front of their face. It's outside, it's in the greenhouse. So it showcased the kids and what the students have done. It also allows the students to use money. It also allows people to come ask them questions about what it is that they've planted and how did they plant them and where to plant them now, how to take care of them. So just listening to the students go from the beginning of the year not having an idea of how to plant something or what a seed does and how it gets to make a plant, to have them talking and be proud of what they've created, it's amazing to see. I love it. So some of the things that we have, and just to give you also a little background, is this is not a large program. It is myself, and this year we're down in numbers for the kids. Next year we're having more kids come up to the program, but this is working with, last year it was 5 students 2 days a week, which isn't much at all. So if you are in a situation where you have more students, you really you should be able to take off. The other thing that we have is we have Babylon systems in the school to plant year round, or to have things growing year round. Grow lights, if you don't have access to a greenhouse, grow lights would be fine if your administration allows you to have them in a room. So there's different ways to get around making this work if you don't have an actual greenhouse. So plans to share harvest with school community. We've either already done this or we plan to do this. We harvest lettuce, kale, tomatoes, peppers, and herbs for the school cafeteria. We did that before the summer. The culinary arts staff and students will utilize the garden for produce and herbs. That's another thing that I didn't mention that we do. The students will go to our culinary arts teachers or classrooms, and they will have a list of questions about what kind of herbs would you like to see in that garden? What kind of vegetables would you like to see? And again, that's collaborating. They're getting used to going and talking to other adults and other students about what it is that we can help them with. So it really shows them a sense of community. We have a summer enrichment program that we are hoping this summer, we'll be able to utilize the garden and keep things growing for us. There is the summer school students that we're hoping that will be incorporated into part of their learning. And then again, after this summer break, we go and we harvest again, and we use that for the cafeteria and the culinary arts. So this is the continuing efforts that we want to do from year to year. We want to use there's a small aquaponic system in the classroom, which we did not get a chance to fully use that last year. The students learned about it. They learned that the water and the fish's waste help grow the plants. They were a little bit grossed out about that, but it's, you had to learn about why is that. Great learning things that, you get something from a fish that helps a plant, and things can be grown inside. So that was a lot of learning. We plan to grow lettuce year round in the greenhouse, and that is we need to get a little bit more of larger planting beds inside, but that's something that we hope to do so that we can not have to buy lettuce in the future. There's a lot of different plants that were kind of thrown around, but because lettuce is easier to grow than some of the other ones, you just, if the lettuce is growing up, you just cut it, wash it, and we bring it to the cafeteria. They rewash it and they use it. And then also growing herbs year round in the aquaponic system, in the greenhouse, and also in that Babylon system that I was talking about. So that is the end of my presentation. I actually, sorry, Dina, I didn't, Dinah, I didn't actually time it very well. Does anybody else have any questions out there?
Rayanne, don't apologize. There's so much information. So if you have any questions, people who are watching, please drop questions in the chat. Rayanne, I have a question. It feels like this program is completely self-funded, like you're generating income, but for people who are just starting, have you ever been in a situation to get donations?
We
Or
we
how did you initially fund?
I'm sorry, that's my daughter's dog barking.
Okay.
we 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 like I said before, we've never really had to spend money in our program before. So I have a very hard time going in asking for donations, or, we wanted to make things work on just a little bit of money, which is why everything that we have bought, for the most part, has all been by seed. And then, we have a little bit of money that we bought the soil. There was a program already, the science department let us use their pots. So it's not that a lot of money is needed. It's just a lot of time.
Mhm.
We after you're at the institute, I went back to that we went with you. I went back to school, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we need to do this, 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 and this. And then I was kind of told to reel it in a little bit. Like, let's, if it's only me for right now with a few students, we got to reel it in and really hone in on what we want to do. Um, so it's still not a super expensive way to run the garden. We have gotten grant money, and that is, I believe that's from Whole Foods. And what that does is it was written in that we would plant certain things in our garden, that being a
Mhm.
Three Sisters garden that we're going to do, and also native plants. And that, again, native plants help the whole ecosystem.
And can you speak, Rayanne, a little bit on your students? And I think I heard you say that some of them repeat this. You might have them for a few years.
They do.
Are they self-selecting to be in this program, or or is it being recommended that they do this program with you?
Well, they're transition training students. So again, what that means is after they've done their 4 years of schooling and they choose to stay longer, they can stay until they're 22. We have work site aides that go to different work sites. So we have one that goes to like a senior center type setting where they're talking with senior citizens and helping serve food. Then we go to more of a retail place where they're learning how to stock shelves. They're learning how to face shelves. They're conversing with customers and trying to help them there. And then and then the greenhouse program.
So you're really preparing them after they decide to leave to get in to continue in this line of work in
Yes.
a greenhouse or any kind of agriculture
Right.
farm.
Or just,
Right.
yep. Or just learning how to plant in general.
Hmm.
The students that may live more city, they are, the planters we showed you, those are made out of pallets, with no chemicals on them. They were made out of the pallets from our carpentry department. And the students were each able to bring one home and to show, you can grow things. It doesn't have to be in a big garden. You don't need to have a big yard, but you can make things grow. So, because we have a whole bunch of different abilities in our program and interests, they can't necessarily all come and do the greenhouse. They can't necessarily all go to do the retail part or working with senior citizens. So they are rotated each semester.
Hmm.
Their final year that they're going to be with us, usually if they stay till they're 22, their very last year, they will usually be allowed to kind of stick with what it is that they think they want to go into.
And you said, I mean, it's just so incredible to see the work that you do when you said you only see them twice a week and there's only 5 participants right now, and you
Right. Right.
get this incredible work done.
Yep.
So people who are here in this webinar, um, if they have a larger group, it might even be easier. Though, do you have any suggestions for people who might have a larger group, how to organize that or?
Because I'm not sure where people are coming from that are listening to this webinar. We are so lucky to have a very supportive plant services manager that he's like, where do you want the garden? What do you want us to do? We have the
Mhm.
shops behind us to help build the things that we needed. Um, we have the support of our grant writer to think it's an important program to get the help to pay for certain things, which just grows our gardens better. Um, I would start small. This was an idea that happened through COVID, that, hey, let's have these kids plant things, to now it being, you know, our cafeteria is using some of the food that started from seed. Our culinary arts department is showcasing things that the kids have made. Um, the culinary arts, staff or students are walking out to our gardens and picking fresh vegetables. So if any of you out there have a bigger group or interest or a way to, you know, get people involved, um, I think it's just a matter of seeing who would be want to be a part of it. And it's not that expensive to start necessarily and maintain. The Babylon system that we have, I think, was through works of the science department. So there's a lot of collaboration going on there. The science department got them. They're allowing special ed to use one of them to help kind of grow things. So collaboration is huge.
Yeah, it seems like you have full support in your school of people willing to either use this service and be excited about it or provide things.
Yes. Yes, we are very lucky that we do. Um, and again, it's just a fluke that it started. It was just all through COVID. And there's an empty greenhouse, and it went from there. And the science department still uses it. And again, collaborating. We're out there, we will water their plants. If they're out there, they'll water ours. And it just makes it a neat part of doing all this. It's a lot of different shops that are involved in these gardens with us, but not the physical planting of everything.
Right. Does anyone, if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. Um, I know there was a lot of information. It was so clear that people might not have questions, right?
Yeah. And I babble a lot and I apologize because it's like there's so much to talk about with this program. Um, and uh I feel from seeing these kids, especially now this weather, I get so excited because we're going to be able to go out there and really that's our day. We're going to be planting and we're going to be, eventually picking vegetables and they're going to be able to taste what they made out of a seed. It's just neat seeing them be excited about it.
Yeah, you said earlier that watching them develop from not having any sense of seeds and plants to then being at the plant sale and explaining the plants to people or explaining how to take care of them really filled you with excitement and
It
pride.
is. It is. And I kind of, and it's hard to step back and let them talk sometimes because when, people will come up to me and I'll be like, "Oh, ask the students what you need to know." And they sometimes have little scripts about what plant it is that they are trying to sell. And to see, I mean, to bring in roughly $1,500 on a small plant sale that students basically took care of from the time they were seeds. Um, and our school community is very, they look for it now. They look for the plant sale now. This will be the third or fourth year.
Mm.
They all kind of run into each other, but third or fourth year that people will be looking forward to our sale, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a matter of school pride, community pride.
Correct.
So last call for any questions. If you have a question, feel free to drop it in the chat. I know it's the end of probably a long school day for everyone, and we appreciate people coming. And Rayanne, I really appreciate you coming after being in the classroom all day to share this.
You're very welcome. I love it, and I appreciate you asking me to be a part of it because I think that what you guys do is amazing. And again, going to the institute, not knowing what it was really all about, first going and then learning, and the excitement that you guys have for really taking care of the environment is amazing. And the Right Lock Farm that the institute was at, the kids loved walking the grounds. They saw the greenhouses, they saw what was planted there, they saw things for sale in the shop, and it added to the excitement of teaching these kids. And the website and all your lessons are amazing.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you have a question in the chat from Diane says, I share your excitement to begin planting. Me too. And
Yay.
thank you for the reminder to start small and the importance of collaboration. I am new on this path and want to know what you call your specific program. Do you have a name
Um,
for the program?
well, we made it up. So I am actually, we just call it the Tops Greenhouse Gardens. Excuse me, because we are the Transitional Occupations Program. I'm a transition training worksite aide, and we just made up, it's a Tops Garden and Greenhouse curriculum. We also, excuse me, I know in this world of AI, I haven't used the curriculum, but there is a very easy way to get a curriculum for the greenhouse um, using AI. It's kind of scary actually, but it will bring you through a school year of exactly what you want to do. Um, Mine, I don't use AI for this. Mine kind of has to, change from week to week of what we do based on the kids that I have and their abilities. So I don't, you know, I think it's knowing your students, knowing your program, or whatever your program is, starting small um, and taking it from there.
Yeah, so Diane, the program is called TOPS, and that, right? So that just stands, it's an acronym for the
Yep.
program.
Transitional
Um,
Occupations Program.
Yeah, Diane said, thank you. I wasn't sure if it was only transition students. I'm loving the IGI curriculum so far from Martha's Vineyard. Oh, on Nantucket. Yeah.
Hmm.
So Diane, you have Island Grown out there. Yeah, Island Grown. So you have a really great resource in the Island Grown curriculum and the organization
I
for
just went to
support.
Nantucket for the first time this past summer. It's beautiful there.
Um, Great. Any other questions before everyone heads out?
And people can reach out to me also after this if they have any questions. But the resources that the websites that I put up there will really help a lot, especially yours.
Oh, great. Thank you. Yeah. For people who are here, please reach out to us at Mass Farm to School, and our website is massfarmtoschool.org. I'll put it in the chat. And you probably know because you got to this webinar. Uh, Here's our website, and I'll put my email in the chat if people have questions about the Institute program Rand spoke about or want to get in touch for any resources. Great. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Rand, thank you so much. I know you had
Thank
a long
you. I appreciate it.
day.
Sorry, I'm a
I
little short
appreciate
on time, but
It's fine. I appreciate your sharing after all of your incredible knowledge, and I hope that you enjoy this planting season in the spring.
we
We
will. I'll
made
be in
it.
touch with you. We'll let you know.
Yeah, we
I
made it.
also the I don't know if anyone's local to Lowell area that is on here. The Mill City Grows, I think,
Mhm.
does offer help planting.
Mhm.
That's something I just got in an email a couple days ago that I haven't really looked into, but it's basically bringing people to help you plant. If anybody is in this area, you could reach out to them also.
Great. Thank you. I
Okay.
put their name in the chat. Great, Rand. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining us, and have a great beginning to spring and planting season.
Yahooey.
We made it.
All right. Thank you. Bye, everybody.